Should I consider buying a house that an interior design has worked on? Will it make any difference or will it matter or not? I mean, if you look at 2000s and 1990s, I believe there were very few interior designers in the market. तब भी चलता था काम.
In Hyderabad, yes, the concept has recently picked up. People are more approachable now. When we tell them that, yeah, we are interior designers and we can help you build your home, they are more approachable, they are more open to us. Earlier, the same work was done by a local carpenter, which is also good enough, yes, but it is not very aesthetically appealing. It is functional, but not aesthetically appealing. So that's where an interior comes into. Whereas when it comes to interior designers, they are more person-focused. We cater to more individual requirements and our output might not always be tangible. Warm color is always better. And when it comes to luxury interiors, definitely there are many items that we want to highlight.
So go
because
for the functionality
if I know,
first.
yes, so if I know what is your basic requirement, I'll be able to explore it more. Be willing to give more. Don't have limitations to your work model. We are in a service industry, Sharan, so no expectation is higher. It's the client list is endless. So you have to know where to set your limits, set your ground, but don't give up too soon. But also know when to give up.
I think imperfection is the new beauty, right? People are embracing that and they like a little bit of variety. So do you think minimalism will be the future of interior designing, or any new trends that are coming up in the market and you think will be the future of interior designing, especially in Hyderabad?
Okay, so firstly, people have this notion that AI is replacing human.
Welcome to the third episode of the Insights podcast by Giridhari Homes. Today, we have a very renowned interior designer all the way from Mumbai, and we spoke everything related to interior designing. Right from what interior designing is and what's the future of interior designing in Hyderabad, we spoke about every topic meticulously. So if you are an aspiring interior designer or a home buyer waiting for the right time to purchase your home, we really suggest you to watch the entire podcast. You'll get some really valuable information from this. It's lovely to have you here, Dipika. So you run your own interior designing firm. Can you let us know a little bit about it and what you do?
So hi Sharan, it's glad to be here too. We are from Studio Elements Private Limited. We are a Mumbai-based firm started in 2011. We have ventured into Hyderabad market since it's been almost 2 years now. By the end of maybe 2021 is what we started our footprint in Hyderabad. And we look at towards total solutions. We are into residential, we are into commercial interiors, retail, hospitality. So we are a one-stop solution when it comes to all your interior designing needs and requirements.
Okay, so do customers approach you directly as well, or is it just major construction companies that approach?
No, we do have end clientele also,
Okay.
and most of our business is through word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
And in Hyderabad, we have been associated with a lot of prominent builders. Giridhari Homes being one of them.
Okay, that's nice. I mean, you worked on a few projects, right?
Yes, we have.
View and Happiness Hub.
Yes, that's correct. So both of them are based in Kismatpur.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's get right into it. All right.
Sure.
So as a home buyer, should I consider buying a house that an interior design has worked on? Will it make any difference or will it matter or not?
Now, if you buy a home without an interior designer, it's almost like buying a canvas with no art on it. Okay, so an interior designer will definitely help you in your planning process. They help you understand your requirements better. With you might just know that this is your requirement, but whether the requirement is functional or not is something that you would not be very well aware about. So that's when an interior designer comes into play.
Okay, so is it like so let's assume that, I mean, if you look at 2000s and 1990s, I believe there were very few interior designers in the market. तब भी चलता था काम. So do you think the market has changed? Is it like a necessity now?
It has always been a necessity. Okay. Now, if we are looking at a broader geographical area instead only of Hyderabad, other than Hyderabad, in Mumbai, we have been operational since many years. The concept of interior designing has been since many decades. There are companies who are older than 4 decades also. So it's not like just with the onset of the 20th century or the 21st century, the interior concept has come into being. No. In Hyderabad, yes, the concept has recently picked up. People are more approachable now when we tell them that we are interior designers and we can help you build your home. So they are more approachable. They are more open to us. Earlier, the same work was done by a local carpenter, which is also good enough, yes, but it is not very aesthetically appealing.
Mhm.
It is functional but not aesthetically appealing. So that's where an interior comes into.
Okay. So I'll be really honest with you. I have no idea about how construction works and all that. That's why this podcast is here, to educate
Okay.
people about
Mhm.
every little thing about construction, right? So there's a lot of confusion between interior designers and architects.
Hmm.
We've asked this question to our last guest as well. I mean, he was an architect, so he had a different take on that.
Okay.
So I would like to know it from you, being an interior designer. What is the fundamental difference, and if people have problems in both the domains,
Mhm.
and how should they identify them, and who should they approach?
Okay. So when it comes to architects, okay, so architects' role is more of an integration of your government policies, the existing infrastructure, your celebrity of the project, the future adaptations, and so on. So it is more mass oriented. Whereas when it comes to interior designers, they are more person focused. We cater to more individual requirements, and our output might not always be tangible. We are not people oriented, so we are person oriented. So we look into the individual requirements of the people. That's the major difference between an architect and an interior designer. So architects, they work on a macro level.
Okay.
If I'm an interior designer, I'm looking more at a micro level.
All right. So is there a sense of competition between the both, or is it
No,
completely different?
they are interconnected. It's not a competition, it's an interconnection. So where they stop is where we start.
All right. Because
So-
what I was told in the last podcast is there's identity crisis when it comes to this. I mean, a lot of people, being an architect, what he told us was everyone is self-proclaimed architect. They'll be like, okay, I can do this, I can do that also. So there's a lot of identity crisis there. All right.
I think what we are speaking about is about a very specific set of people. Okay, not everybody would want to have somebody else's identity.
Mhm.
Now, when I have clients coming to me and telling me that, are you an architect? So I correct them. No, I'm an interior designer. I look into your interiors. I will not be able to advise you on the structural work.
Mhm.
So that depends upon, again, person to person. So there is no identity crisis as long as you are comfortable in your own identity.
So do people usually understand the difference, or do you get this a lot?
No, we get this a lot.
Okay.
So it becomes very difficult. And at times, there has been hundreds of times when I have been introduced as an architect, and I'm like, oh my god, the architect is standing next to me would be feeling so humiliated. Like, so it does
we
come
get
across.
we get asked this question a lot too, like what is the difference and who does what and all
Mhm.
that. So that's why we started this podcast with this question.
Okay.
So moving forward, so light is an important part of interior designing, I believe. Can you elaborate that, expand that, and explain us how it sets mood for different projects? For one case, let's assume luxury projects, and for other, you can mid level projects. So you can just take us through what light works where and how important that is.
We work on the principle of design for the light. So light is something which is one of the most important factors. It is linked to your psychological, to your physiological responses to the different color temperatures. So if we generally tend to prefer more towards warm lights. So what do you mean by a warm light? Why do things look beautiful in a warm light? Because warm light, it represents the natural warm tones of the sunlight during the sunset and the sunrise. Which is why we are always more comfortable in our own skin in the warm light. We feel a lot of relaxation in the warm light. Cool light, whereas, or a natural light, which we also call as a daylight. So those are more functional. Those are more object, or not object, but then purpose oriented. So it is task oriented. Whereas warm lights are mood oriented.
So if I go to a shopping mall
Hmm.
and if I go to some luxury brand,
Hmm.
luxury store, if I want to buy something, I always see warm lights there. So
Yes.
is this like the reason why?
Because it accentuates the beauty of the object. As I
Alright.
said, because if you see the sunrise and sunset, why do you like it so much? Because of the tones that's depicting. So that's what a light does to an object.
So warm color is always better.
Warm color is always better. And when it comes to luxury interiors, definitely there are many items that we want to highlight.
Mhm.
And in today's market, the light studios, they have come up with so many different abstract and natural forms of lights. So it's unbelievable.
So does the quality of light also matter? Or let's say this podcast setup, right? This is all short and warm lighting. So there are different tones of warm colors here.
Yes.
So while designing something for a luxury project, do you keep the shade of the color into the picture as well? Like, do you does it differ? Like every warm light is the same, or are there different shades that work for different things?
No. So the warm light is the same, but then the angle and the focus that the light throws on an object will define its beauty. So the color is usually warm, daylight, cool light, but between them the light angle, the throw of the light, the lux level, all those again play a very major role.
Mhm.
So it's not only the three colors of the light. It's much.
Okay. So interior designing focuses more on functionality or aesthetics, and why?
It's a combination. It's an amalgamation of both functionality and aesthetics. It doesn't work without the other. If I have to look at a product, if it's only functional, if there's no beauty in it, I will not be attracted towards it. For me to go towards it, it has to be a little more attractive, and then I see the functional aspect of it. Now, if I'm going to a desk, okay, it is appealing to me, but the height of the desk is not as per what I want. It is not ergonomically fitted to me. Then the functional aspect of it does is just ruled out. Now the beauty of it doesn't matter.
Right.
So both of them,
you might get requests
they go
from
hand
clients,
in
right?
hand.
You might get requests from clients such as, "Nahi, I want this way only. I want the exact piece there. I want this to be there." So you might have to explain to them a lot of times, "Ki, this is not functional. This won't add any value here. Is it just for the aesthetics?" So how do you manage those situations?
Pinterest is like something people have just come up with images from Pinterest. Dipika, do this. We want this in our house. We have to really make them understand in a very affirmative way. Ki, nahi, this is looking good on the picture. It is not as per your space. We always cannot say no.
Right.
We have to say it in a very affirmative tone. We have to be very in a very good tone that yes, we will try to incorporate it, but with a little more of our style is what we put forward to them. Yeah, this is nice, but then we'll just tweak it a little as per your space, and then yes, it is workable.
Okay, so it's like 50-50. You have to
It's
give
like
them a little bit of
50-50.
what they want, and then you'll have to work on the functional part of it.
Yeah,
as well.
but then it also depends upon your relationship with your client. How open are you with your client? How comfortable are you discussing things in depth with your client? So it always depends upon the trust your client has with you, has on you, and the relationship both of you will share. That I think is the key to any successful collaboration with any client or a construction company. That you have to be very open to them in a good way.
Let's say you said, right, not every aesthetic thing is functional. So what are the things that customers should keep in mind while approaching interior designers? Because not everything on Pinterest will be possible to replicate, right? So yeah, some of that, like basic guidelines that they should understand, that it won't work or this will work, or the lighting and all that. What would you like to tell them?
I would okay, so they would really want to have a clear idea about what their real requirements are. Other than aesthetics, what are their functional requirements? Aesthetic is something that we will take care of, but you have to be a little more specific and clear in your requirements.
Like why you need it,
so that we can develop it aesthetically.
Okay, so go
Because
for the functionality
if I know,
first.
yes, so if I know what is your basic requirement, I'll be able to explore it more. But if I do not know, or if I do not have a clear indication, a clear design brief, we will go back and forth on the same thing multiple times, which does happen. And then we have client coming around telling me, or telling us, or any other designer for that matter, that this is not what we wanted.
Right.
But then this is what we have worked as per the brief that we have received from you.
Okay. So first functionality and then comes aesthetics.
Yes, always.
Correct.
Always.
A lot of mid-sized companies are emerging in the market. Every day there are new interior designing companies. So what is the key for them to succeed in this ever-growing market, which is like very saturated right now? And let's talk particularly about India. What is that one thing that they'll have to do in order to make them successful?
Be willing to give more.
Mhm.
Okay. Don't don't have limitations to your work module. Don't have limitations. Okay, this is what my requirement is. This is what I'm getting. I'm going to deliver only this. Have a tendency to deliver more, and you will never be shortfall of business. Work.
Okay.
Why do I have most of my business by word of mouth? Why? We have a personal relationship with the client. I will know the client in and out. So have a more human approach towards your client. Don't always think of it as a business collaboration. No, unless and you are making their home. It's something which they are going to cherish all their life, most of their life. So you have to have that personal touch into it. You have to deliver more. You have to be more responsible towards it. You have to take it as your own baby. If you're taking it just as a project, just as something which is going to make you profitable, it doesn't work because the vibe throws it. You
Right.
will understand whether the person is in it with only the mind or with the heart also.
Correct.
So you have to work you have to put your heart in.
But won't it set a higher expectation after a point?
We are in a service industry, Sharan. So no expectation is higher.
Okay.
And but that's where again your client relationships comes into. Your client will know how to expect and what to expect from you. And if you're not delivering a certain thing, the client will understand it. But if you have that personal touch with the client, if you're just talking with the client when it is required, when you want the payments, when you want approvals, when you want certain things, then the client will not be there. You simply have to call up a client on a normal day and ask, "Hi, how are you doing? How's the day going?" There's nothing wrong in that.
Correct.
The client might feel a little awkward at once, but then they also understand. Everyone likes a good chat, right?
Right.
That's how it goes. So that's what I would want all. I mean, I would advise all the budding, all the aspiring designers that add a personal touch, deliver more, do not limit yourselves at all.
I mean, treat clients like human beings,
That
like any other human beings.
not only as a project, but I think it is again a two-way relationship. The client also has to think about you as the same.
Correct. Yeah.
You,
I mean, if you
cannot
always
have-
over deliver and set high expectations without them knowing that you're working extra for them,
Yes.
I think that's where the problem
Yes.
tends to come in.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a similar experience of this sort?
So
Where
what?
you've overworked and then the client had too many expectations where your contract was not that, but you over delivered and now client is asking more on top of that. How do you handle those situations?
There is a point when you have to put your foot down.
Mhm.
You have to understand and you have to know when to put your foot down. You can't put your foot down on day one. Neither
Mhm.
can you wait until Z to put your foot down. So you should be knowing when to stop, when to educate a client. Ki, yeah, this is where now my limitations are being extended. I can extend it until this level, but beyond that, I will not be able to do it.
Right.
So we have come across clients who would want multiple design concepts. They'll keep on asking for designs. We are not liking this. Then they'll throw up another image from Pinterest. We want to develop it on this ground, on this level. So it's the list. The client list is endless.
Right.
So you have to know where to set your limits, set your ground, but don't give up too soon.
Interesting.
But also know when to give up.
You have to find the sweet
Yes,
spot.
you have
All
to.
right. So now let's talk green. All right. What is there any connection between eco-friendly? I mean, it's a trending topic right now. Eco-friendly construction and interior designing. Is there any link between these two? And if there is, how do you add a touch of eco-friendliness to your projects? Not only you, how do interior designers do it out there?
The most common thing we do is add indoor plants.
Okay.
That's one of the most common things. But when it comes to when we're talking about having eco-friendly or having sustainable materials, so yes, a lot of things are now being used with the help of cane, with the help of jute, with a lot of agriculture industrial waste. A lot of decor products have been made. So those are the items which we tend to prefer now to bring sustainability into our interior concepts.
Are they expensive than the usual ones?
Not always. A few are, yes, because not because of the sustainability, but because the technology that is required, we are not that advanced right now. So we do have to do a lot of R&D to get a certain material to a certain stage. So that's where the cost goes on a little on a higher side.
Right.
But in the longer run, it is not that expensive.
Friendly, right?
I don't think so. As I said, that it is right now, it is expensive because of the technological advancements.
Right.
We are not manufacturing it at a mass level. No, not all people are preferring it because the cost is on a higher side. But what people are failing to understand is, if you opt for it, you create a demand for it. You create a demand for it, we create a supply for it.
So is the market slowly shifting there?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is.
You get a lot of requests from clients saying, okay, घर ऐसे बनाते हैं, इसमें plants ज़्यादा डालेंगे, eco-friendly बनाएंगे, sustainable बनाएंगे. Do you get a lot of requests like that?
Yes, we do that, and we recently completed a project in Manikuda wherein the client has their doctor clients, and we've got, I think, more than 50 plants inside the house.
Okay.
At every level.
Okay, that's a good
change.
So,
yes, maintaining them is, yes, it is again a task, but people are looking towards it. Hydroponic farming is coming up very big time into we are incorporating hydroponic farming inside the villas. I think Giridhari homes have given it they have come up with the concept of hydroponic farming inside the utility area of the kitchen.
So it's a collaborative effort.
It's a collaborative effort. So yeah, when we heard about it, we really found it very exciting that a builder opting for hydroponic farming inside individual apartments is something which is not heard of.
It's something new.
Yes, it's something new. Like, we as designers have given it to our clients who have the space to do it. But as a construction company, this was the first that I have come across in Hyderabad.
So it's a very good start. Do you think more companies should do something like this?
I think people are doing it.
People are doing
it. Absolutely.
Okay. Does it benefit in any way? Like, how will it matter to the customer? I mean, sure, you can grow fruits and vegetables. Is it viable on a daily basis?
It's not viable for your daily consumption.
Okay.
But it's viable in a way that you are teaching your generation to get into more sustainable ways, to get into pesticide-free products, to grow more in a limited space. So it's all about giving exposure to your new generation about it.
It's connecting back.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. And maintaining these plants that we were talking about earlier, is it difficult? I mean, 50 plants in one house, a lot of insects, a lot of watering. So how do you maintain these plants?
So again, you should be knowing which plant to place where. Which plant requires how much maintenance, how much light is required, how much water is required. Once you know the knack of it, once you get a knack of it, then it becomes easier. Mm-hmm. You definitely need professional help because you can't tend to all of their needs. So a professional help is definitely required.
All right. So I would like to know about your personal projects. All right. So is there any project that was like super difficult and you've managed to, solve that problem and it saved the day? If you have any such experiences, can you share one of it with us?
Save the day, as in days have been saved every day since almost more than a decade now. So, but I think recently no. But if I go back to my archives, then definitely there would be something. I think okay. So yeah, we had this. I think it's almost a decade old thing that I'm telling you now. So we had this handover. As usual, the handovers are always delayed, and we are in a rush and stress and everything during the handover stage. So we had this dining table of 8-seater, and we got paint spilled on 2 of the chairs. Mm-hmm. We had the housewarming the next day. The client is looking at me with a frown, and I'm like, what is supposed to be done? We have no clue right now. At that instant, I had no clue what is to be done. What we did at that point of time is we simply removed the arms of 2 chairs out of the 8 chairs, and we just placed them at both the heads of the table. Now, going back around 12 years, this was something which was not really heard of. All the chairs are supposed to be same. You can't have 2 different chairs on a dining table. But we did it then, and it worked for us.
Oh.
And the last couple of years, many people are doing it. Yeah, the dining chairs are not supposed to be symmetrical. You can have different chairs.
Okay, so it's like a new trend that you've set.
No, not I've said. It just happened, and I think many people have been doing it before me.
Right.
They would have been, but for me, it was the first.
I think imperfection is the new
Yes,
beauty, right?
it
People
is.
are embracing that, and
It is.
they
it
like a
is.
little bit of variety.
Yes.
So, do you think minimalism will be the future of interior designing, or otherwise?
Minimalism, to a certain extent, yes. But if I talk about the Indian requirements, we always need storages. Okay, no matter how much ever we tell ourselves that we like the minimalistic approach, we want our house to be minimal, we are born to stack things, and we can't do away with them. So I have to explain to the client that you have purchased an area of a per square feet of maybe 7,000, 8,000, 20,000 square feet per square feet. What are you going to stack in that?
Okay.
So let's have a little more minimalistic approach. Let's have an amalgamation of both of them. Your functionality again and the aesthetic, as I said. So both of them again go hand in hand. So minimalistic not works everywhere, but yes, we do tend to incline a little towards it.
Okay. Any new trends that are coming up in the market, and you think will be the future of interior designing, especially in Hyderabad?
I think what I have not seen in Hyderabad until now is architects or designers exploring parametric designs.
Parametric designs.
Parametric designs.
What is that?
Design.
Can you just
So
break it
that's
down?
it works on mathematical algorithms. Okay, and a 3D formation is created. It gives a multi-dimensional approach. It gives a multi-dimensional approach to any design, to any object. So that's something which is coming up very much. Like, a lot of architects are exploring it. Designers are not very well educated about it, or are not very open to it, or not better equipped to it.
So do you think the trend is...
We ourselves are learning towards it. So those something is what will set your design or your architecture different from others.
Okay. So is this like a Western concept that's coming to India?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And did any city was quick to adapt
You
this?
will definitely see it in Hyderabad. Definitely the bigger designers and architects would be incorporating in it. Mumbai definitely has it. Other cities definitely do have it, but then not on a very major scale. Firstly, it is very it's not very cost effective.
Okay.
And
but it will become in the future.
Nothing artistic becomes cost effective over a
okay.
long time.
I thought this was the same topic we were talking about last time.
No. So that's
Okay.
not, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. A new trend that will be in the market.
It is.
Right
yes.
now, what is the trend in the market?
There are trends which are set every day. Every day there is something new coming in the market. As we already discussed, the sustainable materials, the eco-friendliness is the trend. The cool tech, or if you say the home automation is the trend.
Okay.
So
yeah, while we are on home automation, eco-friendly home automation is like a very contrasting subject to talk about.
yes.
So more eco-friendly, less smart homes, or more smart homes, less eco-friendly? How does that work? And are smart homes required?
I am more from the old school. So
Okay.
I do believe in smart homes. Yes, they are good from a convenience point of view. But if I'm using my tech all the time, so how do I connect to the person sitting next to me? Like, so we are now using our phone apps to brighten the light, dim the light, switch on and off the light. Whereas I could just speak to the person next to me and ask them to switch on and off the light,
Okay.
or switch off the fan, switch on the AC.
So if there's no technology, there'll be more conversation.
There is more conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
It definitely is a preference, but then when it comes to convenience, but if it's losing the human touch, then it's not worth it.
It's a very interesting thing, because this last podcast we asked the same question, and the answer was more automation, more time to spend with your family, so that way you can connect more with them. I think it's, obviously opinions and perspective, right?
No, but when your automation is for your convenience, as I said, yes, you get to spend more time. But if you're looking at automation only from a comfort zone, you have to just draw the blinds up and down. So you can do it yourselves.
And there is a lot of privacy threat as well. Like, if you have something listening to you all day, and then you keep seeing those ads on your mobile phone, it's kind of scary,
Yes,
right?
and you're talking more to Alexa rather than to the person.
Sitting next
So
to you.
sitting next to you. So
Yeah.
I think that's where I always advise my clients to, yes, take automation for for your home security, yes. But if you want to have cameras inside your common areas inside the home, it's not required. You are making you're making your family conscious of their every moment. You're not like letting them live themselves.
Right.
So
Correct.
I'm not completely not disregarding it. It is important in today's days. Yes, it is important, but to a certain extent, you need to know where to draw the line between being overly possessive about technology
Correct.
and to how to effectively use it as well.
Correct. Because one time I've had this very weird. That was the first time I've encountered something like that. So the curtain is automated. It only opens if I give command on a remote. All right. So it was golden hour, and we wanted to go out and take nice pictures in the balcony. And then there was a power cut. There was no power backup as well, and we couldn't open the curtain or the door. And that's when I was like, "This is so. I mean, it defeats the entire purpose of automation. If there's no power, you can't even open the curtains and go out of your house." So there are some limitations. I feel like we're not there yet. Complete home automation. Do you think that's
I
the
believe
case?
no. So over here, what the situation is, when we are including automation into our house, we also need to have an inverter backup. We need to understand if you are giving a client certain standards, then you need a backup to balance those standards also.
Correct. But what if there's a malfunction in the technology?
So that a malfunction could happen anywhere. Even if it's a manual, your strings could just get stuck. So
Right.
then what? So it's
Right.
it's not malfunction in terms of technology only. It could be anything. A malfunction can happen anytime, anywhere.
Correct. So, and do you have home automation in your house?
In my house, no, I do not have. I do not want to get things into my house that I do not believe in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you worked on any projects that are completely automated and it was challenging for you as an interior designer to do your things inside?
No. So most of our clients, we suggest automation. Like usually, clients ask us the first thing: do you want us to go into an automated home or not? So that's where we know where our boundaries are. So we have always explained our clients that yes, automation is required until a certain extent. So let's have it in this place. Let's have it only in the common areas. Let's not get into the bedrooms. Let's do only these certain things. So that's how we restrict the use of automation into our projects.
All right. Uh, if you would give some tips to homeowners who are looking to refresh or renovate their existing home, what tips would you give them in terms of interior designing? What tips would you give them? How to approach it, and what should the method be?
So firstly, decide on what is the purpose of the renovation, okay, and what is the cost that you're looking to invest into it. Now, if you're just looking for a basic upliftment, you can use wallpapers. You've got unlimited options in them. You can just pep up your room with the use of a wallpaper or a texture paint. You add a few funky cushions to your sofa, and your sofa becomes lively. You just add a few more decor stuff. As long as the functional aspects of your home are taken care of, and you're just looking to uplift it a little, there are many options. But if the functionality of the home is not proper, then a basic upliftment doesn't work.
Okay.
Then you have to get into the depth of it.
Okay, you'll have to rework the
Yes,
functionality and then think
yes,
about the
yes,
aesthetics, like
yes.
we've discussed. All right. So, what's the secret sauce when it comes to like big construction companies out there approach interior designers? They consult them and they ask them what to do, how to do things once the house is built. What are the things that you tend to, find that they overlook?
What?
I mean, like even see, major construction companies have interior designers, but they still go outside for consulting, right? So, what is that thing that you guys are, identifying that they are not able to?
No, it's not about identifying whether we are able to identify better than what or identify something which they are missing. No, they're not missing anything, but their role is defined to an extent where a builder is looking at the salability of the project. Their role is more defined towards that. When it comes to our role, when we are doing up a model apartment or a model villa for any construction company. So what we are looking at is attracting a client not only towards the aesthetics of it, but again towards the functionality of it. That's where an independent design company comes into picture, because we look at things from the perspective of the construction company as well as the perspective of the client.
Right.
That's how
So-
it goes.
So you tend to understand the best of both the
Yes,
worlds,
yes, yeah.
and
So
that's how you find the balance.
yeah, we try to be a bridge between both of them, and then deliver a project which is better for both of them.
All right. Okay, interesting. So let's talk about the most trending topic, AI. Do you use AI in interior, like any of your work?
We use AI. Now,
And
firstly,
what kind of AI you use?
okay, so when firstly people have this notion that AI is replacing human. Okay, so I mean, there is no role which is irreplaceable. Everything is replaceable. uh, when it comes to, we always need to evolve ourselves or revolve ourselves towards whatever the latest technological advancements are. If I see at AI helps us in shortlisting the objects which are, whereas earlier we had a huge database of shortlisting objects. We had to manually screen them as to what is looking good in our area, what is functional in our area. AI helps us in that.
Okay.
It will give you the right products. It will help you choose the right products, the products which are required for your project.
Okay.
That is where AI helps us.
Okay. So in recurring tasks, AI can perform them better than humans and
Yes,
faster than humans.
yes, it does.
What about creativity? Even in that, is it better than humans, or is there a human touch required?
I would not compare human and AI, so I would not say AI is better than human or human is AI is better than AI. No, so it is not a threat to all. I take it as a contemporary. I have to grow along with it.
Along with
It has to grow along with it. If it doesn't have any user, then it's not working for him as well or it as well. So that's how it goes.
So make AI your best friend and just
Yeah, it works. It works for both of us.
okay. But don't you think it's replacing jobs?
It is replacing. No, we are not looking at it from that perspective, from the perspective of a technical approach or a creative approach. Not technical, but then a creative approach. No, I am not looking at AI right now for a creative approach, because I understand the other human being better compared to AI. AI works on certain parameters. I don't have a fixed parameters within me.
All right. Okay. So to all our aspiring interior designers out there, they would like to know your process of how you approach a client, and once the client is on board, uh, fundamentally what are the things that you do to set your foundation, and then how you plan about things to take the project forward. Can you just break that down for us?
It's a very tedious process.
Okay.
So first, whenever we have a client requirement, or whenever we know that we have a lead and the client is interested, so we do a formal pitch to the client as to this is what we are, this is what we do. We take the client's design brief, we come up with concepts, then the cost. So once all those is done and the client is on board, then we start with an in-depth discussion of their needs, of their functionality needs, of their decor needs, of needs which are based on their cost, which are directly linked to the costs. So all those things we then get into an in-depth discussion with them. Then concepts are further screened, further worked on. Once the design phase, this is what we call as the design phase. Once the design phase is completed, then we start with the execution phase. Within the design phase, we also have sub phases of the project management, of the costing, of the selection of the vendors. All those also comes into the post design. There's a pre-design and a post design phase. So a few things come into pre-design, then it comes into post design. That's how we go about it. And then it depends whether the client is still looking for an execution or not. What kind of project is it? Is it a design and build project? Is it only design consultancy? If it's only design consultancy, this is where we stop. Our role is finished at this stage. When it comes to design and build, wherein we are also doing the execution of the project, Then we rope in our contractors and we start with the on-site works. We start with the wardrobes and the modular works. That's how it goes about.
All right. Okay, so now I'm a marketeer. All right. Let's say I want to switch to interior designing. What is the start line and where should I start and what does the future look like?
You need to start without thinking about what the future looks like. You get into it if it's your passion.
Yeah.
If it's something that you're looking for only for a switch in the career because you're bored of your current career, so that's not something that you should look into, because interiors is a very passionate job. You have to have your heart into it to be able to deliver and to be successful.
Right. What if I am actually passionate about it? And then what should I do? Where should I start?
Okay. So if you are really passionate about it, then I think the formal step would be to get some kind of education about it. Education and then hands-on experience. Both of them collectively will definitely help you.
Just a degree won't be enough.
A degree is never enough.
Okay.
It is important. It is required to know certain norms, certain standards. It will help you do that. But your practical knowledge is something that will teach you altogether different. So that's something that you have to start with, and you have to start with very, very basic. Once you are close with your once you're done with your degree or a diploma. So when you start with the hands-on, you'll start at the very base. You don't have to be demotivated then that, oh, I'm starting with only this. But that's how the market goes, and that's where you learn the most of the things.
Right.
When you are a nobody, when you are somebody, you are scared to ask questions. Right? You feel that hole, you feel that held back. I'm supposed to know this. I'm somebody. Right. When you are nobody, you can ask whatever you want to. Correct. So that's the best way to have more hands-on or more practical approach to your knowledge. That will definitely help. Yes.
And what is one advice the best advice you could give to a person like me who would want to switch? I mean, not for real, but let's assume. What is the best advice that you would like to give them?
I'll repeat my answer actually. So be passionate, be human, be open to suggestions, be open to multiple requirements, be open to unrealistic expectations, requirements, and try to have an amalgamation of all of them, and that is what will help you the most. Having a very open-mindedness that yes, you set the standards for yourself over here. Don't let the client set your standards. You set your own standards. So once you know this is the standard that I have to follow, then even if the client is asking you something lower than that, then you will still strive to achieve to what you want over here. So I think that's what you have to have it as a healthy approach.
Interesting. So being an interior designer was based in Mumbai. What are the things that you've noticed or observed that Hyderabad's construction companies are doing right? Is their approach changing, and how are they evolving?
They're evolving in many ways. Firstly, they think that the reason that I received a good response, I think, was because I was from Mumbai. Okay. So people just tend to hard. So we have better knowledge. They assume. We have better exposure, they assume, which is correct. Yes, we do have better exposure, a little more better exposure. When it comes to construction companies, the shift that I have found is they have become more nature consciousness. Now, when I have worked on view, what I have really liked is about the open balconies that have been given over there. The open balconies, the courtyards, the indoor plants. This is something that was something I think of the past. Earlier, we used to have central courtyards in the house. We used to have terraces. We used to have balconies. But over the last couple of years, many people have builders have decided to go against it. To give a better, more flow space rather than this.
To maximize this.
To maximize the internal flow space. But with view, I actually saw that, yes, there's a very big balcony which has been given, which is right. I'm just seeing into the nature. That's something that the shift is. And a lot of builders and construction companies are looking towards it. To have more open spaces inside your house.
All right. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah.
And it was really great having you here. You're a wonderful guest. And we hope we do another podcast in the future about different topics. But it was really lovely having you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The feeling is mutual.
If you want to see more educational and informational content like this, do follow Giridhari Homes on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll keep coming back with better content every time. And we really hope that our struggle to make these episodes better for you will help you in making better informed decisions while purchasing your home and also educating you. This is Sharan signing off. See you next time.